That's crazy. I can't believe we're on episode 100. That's all right. Let me hit record. Wait for the emails to stop coming in. Thank you. It's your boy. Start. Check. Check microphone. Check. Okay. Tis recording. All right, then. Here we are, the big one, the 100th, can you believe it, edition of the Mau5trap Radio. I am, of course, deadmau5, and we are kicking things off with a little something of mine, actually. Released on random album title. That was me and Cascade with a very seldomly known track called I Remember. And second up, you might know this one with vocals from Rob Swire. It's another little known deadmau5 track called Ghosts and Stuff. Neat. Part of the first official label release from a producer going by the name of Skrillex. That would be Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. Okay, so obviously, in case you didn't notice, the whole vibe of this show for this week is going to work a little something like this. I got a selection of early Mau5trap releases in the first part of the show, and then we're going to be working our way year by year all the way up to the god-awful year that is 2020. But right now, we're still in 2010. And this is me and Wolfgang Gartner with Animal Rights. I guess it's playing in the background. Edit around it. Back up to 140 for this one. Excision, aka Jeffrey Travis Abel, with a track from his X-rated LP titled Sleepless. Also, Sophie Needs a Ladder was before that. All right. First appearance from Feed Me on episode 100 of Mau5trap Radio from 2012, and teaming up with Crystal Fighters. This is Love Is All I Got. Oh, hi, John. Just the one track from 2013 on this special episode of Mau5trap Radio. Myself and our beloved golden-maned Steve Duda, perhaps better known as BSOD, with Super Breakfast. And that was part of We Are Friends Volume 2. Right. Keep it moving and into a release from 2014. It's Delon Francis with his remix of Some Chords. Well, I'm like deadmau5 here, and we are roughly approaching the midway point of this episode. Rez is behind us, or Space Mom, as you kids like to call her, apparently, with her track Edge. Played you Wastaga from Atlas before that, Black Gummy's Lullaby, which was from We Are Friends Volume 4, and also dropped the Pop-Tart edit thing that I did of Stay by Colleen D'Agostino featuring me. We still got a whole lot to get through, however. So let's crack on. In the next, more from our good friend Jeff. This one's called Riet. Weird name. A couple of releases from 2017 there. Nomana's Clear, which was remixed by Rez. Also Feed Me featuring Kill the Noise, and Anjali with Crazy Maybe. Now, all the tracks on this week's show are, as you expect, signed to Mau5trap, and they should be available to buy or stream from all the usual buying or streaming places. For some exclusive music that you are most certainly not going to be able to buy or stream, however, then you're going to want to check out some online-only Mau5trap Radio 100 stuff at deadmau5 or at Mau5trap on the social networks to find out more. All right, back to it. This is Chris Lake. And this is Sleepwalker. Just coming out of the first few tracks from Mayo there, that's Audio Dust from his Rootkit EP. And this is 2018 Mau5trap music right now as we continue to pick out some of the label highlights from the 10 and 12. However many years it's been. How many? 10, 12, 13? Who knows? Next up, first one of the show from Eddie called Sleeping with Machines. From Rez's Certain Kind of Magic album, it's Life and Death, and before that, it took me the best part of a decade to get Rob on a record again, and that was Monophobia. Thanks. Every 10 years, I guess, we're going to write a track, me and Rob. So I'm going to keep it quiet for the next few, I think. Squeeze in as many tracks as possible between now and the end of the show. I got 2 tracks from Nomana here to get this section going, and Tell Me Most is up in a sec, but first, his collab with Io and Faye. It's called Bad Things. And there we have it. Mau5trap Radio, episode 100. In the bag, so to speak. Big thanks for listening. Big thanks for supporting the show so far. You just heard Morgan Page's mix of Imaginary Friends, Io's Ghost in the Machine, Feel Love by Feed Me, and also Io collaborating with Tommy Trash on Let Me Go. Who knows what's coming up in future episodes? Who knows what's coming up next week? Dude, I don't even know what I'm eating for dinner tomorrow. Although one thing I can confirm is that I'll be back in 7 days, so you can find out then. And I'll tell you what I ate for dinner. I'll leave you with this. Bringing us up right to the present day, it's this little track called Pomegranate. Okay, here's the alternate. What the fuck is this? Are we? Okay, I guess I'm doing 2 of these. It's weird. All right, here we go again. The big one, a very special extended 3-hour edition of Mau5trap Radio. 3 hours. That's a really long time. To celebrate show number 100, I am, of course, deadmau5. And we're going to kick things off with a few of mine. First up, random album title and the very first release on Mau5trap back in 2007, which does not make me feel old in any way whatsoever. This is Faxing Berlin. Now, as I'm sure you guessed already, I've got a whole bunch of tracks to play you this week. So we're going to keep things moving nice and quick. Second up, the 5th single from random album title. That was Cascade and myself with I Forget. Nope. I remember. And we're just coming out of Strobe as well. That was released on, for lack of a better name, was this one right here, featuring the one and only Rob Swire. You might have heard this one before. It's called Ghost and Stuff. And that's still Ghost and Stuff, only this time with Nero on the remix. Now, as we keep the tempo locked at a fashionable 140 BPM for 2010. This was part of the first official label release from a producer going by the name of Skrillex, who also liked 140 BPM, which, in case you didn't know, actually won a Grammy for Best Dance Electronic Album in 2012. Here's Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites. Okay, so the whole vibe for the show this week is going to work a little something like this. I've got a selection of early Mau5trap releases in the first part of the show here. And then we're going to be working our way year by year, all the way up to the dreaded year of our Lord 2020. And then rounding the whole thing off with some exclusive tracks. Right now, though, we're in 2010, thank God. And this is a song that, if I recall correctly, made its debut at Creamfields in the UK that year. It's myself and Wolfgang Gartner with Animal Rights. All right, 2 productions up now from Noisia. Rest in peace. F's in chat for Noisia. Damn. I miss Noisia. But anyway, their version of the Grammy-nominated Raise Your Weapon is on the way in a couple of minutes, but this is Tommy's theme. And 2 productions there, also from Excision, Jeffrey Travis Abel. We had the title track from the X-rated LP and also Sleepless. All right. We're into like 15 tracks already, which is longer than long. And the first of a selection from the year of 2012. This is Feed Me Once More and One Click Headshot. As if I was somehow on album number 6 by 2012. Vocals from Chris James on that one called The Veld, and Feed Me again beforehand, teaming up with Crystal Fighters on Love Is All I Got. Now, Mogwai actually just dropped brand new music on Mau5trap right here in 2020. But it's far from his first outing on the label. He has, in fact, been a part of the team for a full 10 years. From the album of the same name, this is Empire. Just the one track from 2013, as 2013 wasn't a very notable year for me on this special extended Mau5trap Radio. This is myself and my friend Steven Duda, perhaps better known as BSOD, with Super Breakfast. And this was a part of We Are Friends, Wait For It, Volume 2. Right, keeping it moving, it's Dylan Francis with his remix of Some Chords. From 2014, this Norwegian producer, Fairplay, this is his stuff, with the first of his release on Mau5trap. And we're into 2015 already. It's the Drop the Pop Tart edit of Stay by Colleen D'Agostino, and it features me. I gotta come up with easier to read names. A couple of tempo switches for you there. We had Rez with Serenity and Black Gummy's Lullaby, both of which were on the 4th We Are Friends compilation. And that, my friends, is 1/4 of the tracks you can expect to hear on the 100th episode of Mau5trap Radio. What? You mean you hadn't figured episode 100 was going to equal 100 tracks? Well, it absolutely is. We have that many. Okay, back to it. This is Mord Fustang, and the track is Flip the Bacon. It's Space Mummy, aka Rez, on Mau5trap Radio 100. That's Edge from the Silence is Deafening EP. And Atlas was before that with a Weistiga. Weistiga? I don't know how to pronounce that, Jeff. I've just checked Jeff's discography, actually, and you know, the vast majority of Atlas tracks music has been released on Mau5trap, which means we really are rather privileged, and it was an honor to put his stuff out. Anyway, in case you were wondering, the next one is music with strict. It's Black Gummy and the Machine. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we're seamlessly, that was Matt Zo remixing My Love Aside by Matt Lang. And after that, I think it's only fair we take things down a touch. And this is now Atlas again with Riyadh. It was edition of Mau5trap Radio, and it's also track 32, Strobe. Only this time remixed by Lane 8. And it was also, funnily enough, on the 100th. Okay, me and Jeff really couldn't think of a name for this track. But it's our 2017 collab, Bad at Titles. I probably shouldn't even attempt to pronounce that track in Dutch, but a certain translation service does assure me that it means Thursday, and it's by Tin Liquor. Also, Rinzen was before it with Renegade. And Friends, Volume 6 right now. And this is Eddie's debut on the label called No Time. So it's been all about Feed Me and No Mana for the last few. You've heard the original mix of Crazy Maybe, and then it was No Mana's remix of heard his original track, Clear, which was reworked by Space Mom, aka Rez. Are we nearly done yet? Nah, not even. Stick with it though. Lots more good stuff to come, I promise. Up next is Chris Lake and Sleepwalker. Yet more music from. This one's called Relax, and in its second appearances on the show beforehand from Tindley and Fair Play too. You heard Jalapeno, preceded by Prophet. Now, first track of this extended show from IO. Plenty of others to come from him a little later, but let's first hear something from his Rootkit EP. So yeah, played Ghosts and stuff somewhere near the top of the show, and then it was like the best part of a decade later that I finally got this Rob dude back on a. But here's Rinzen's remix of a song called Monophobia 2. For a good few minutes as we've got some Getter and more Rez on the way. Somewhere roughly around the halfway point for the full extended episode of Mau5trap Radio 100. If you've been with us and we aired that very first show, I'm sure you'll remember Getter's guest mix. A few tracks from his album Visceral featured on there. And you just there were two tracks also from Rez's 20 and up next, still the best way to enjoy out-of-date operating systems, if you ask me. It's Spencer Brown and Windows 95 on acid. See? Told you there'd be more from IO. You just heard Low plus his collab with No Mana and Faye titled Bad Things. Stay tuned if you want to hear something that sounds kind of similar to that last one coming up near the end of the show. Okay, a couple of years back, I for a little film called Polar, and one of the tracks there went by the name Midas Heal, and then went and made a vocal, which then became known as Drama Free. So here's Drama Free. So with About You, No Mana was before that, Within My Mind, and we also had my collab with Mr. Build called 10.8, which is not a version of a soft. We're fully into that new stuff now. First release of 2019 for Mau5trap was We Are Friends Volume 8, and the first track on that release was of Imaginary Friends. Okay, I got to keep this one quick. Feed me with Feel the Love Behind Us, Let Me for that, and was No Mana's Tell Me Most. And now this is Oh Hi John, back on Mau5trap in 2019 from his third LP. That's Feed Me with Sleepless. Fun fact, the album was apparently named after an infamous pheasant poaching ring. On whether you want to believe that or not. And moving on, label 1981, and who doesn't love 303s and drum machines? The first collaborative work in Raito, something like that. It's called Come With Me. And sticking on the collab theme, here's No Mana Forever. This is Morgan Friends, taken from Here's the Drop. That album, as I'm sure you might have guessed, featured a ton of tracks from Where's the Drop that have been remixed from Spencer Brown. All right, time is tight. If we want to get everything in here and actually make it to 100 tracks, don't you be thinking that this is all perfect. You know exactly what we're up to, because I don't. So here's Eddie with a remix of Let Go. The actual genuine present day, sort of, or the first track of the show so far to be released in Gummy and Eddie's Double Take. Speaker Honey was up before that. There was a collab from Spencer Brown and Rayto. I can never pronounce it. And Mr. Kurft's Would You Like to Buy a Vowel? Oh yeah. Next in for you, in not the first time I've said this on the show, but from the album of the same name, it's No Mana Secret Level. BSOD finally returned to Mau5trap earlier this year. That's Afterburner, Get Real EP. And you also heard Jay Robinson's remix of my track Coasted. All right. That's a wrap on that one. Fuck. I'm not even going to say that second one. Radio Liners. You're listening to Labor Day Live with 101.5. That's a lot of fives. The Valley's hit. Geez, that's actually real. You're listening to Labor Day Live 1.5. Beehive. You see how I survive? Shout out to the Morning Mess. No, you're listening to Live 101.5, the Valley's hit music leader. I guess that's it. Okay. Please tell me that recorded the whole thing. Yeah, it did. Okay. Like 15 tracks already. BSOD. With Super Breakfast 100 was going to... It absolutely is. We have that many. Okay, back to it. This is Mord Fustang, and the track is Flip the Bacon. Really sound like this? Right? Space Mummy, a.k.a. Rez on Mau5trap Radio.